You're smart, you're driven, but your concussion isn't healing. You've tried everything: rest, rehabilitation, supplements, specialists, and yet you're still canceling plans. You still are waking up wondering, when will I feel like myself again? I want you to know this. You're not stuck and you're not broken. Many of the people I work with are deeply capable, driven, thoughtful, and ambitious. And that's what makes this injury especially painful because no matter how hard you push, your brain needs something different: rest, space, permission to heal. Instead, we fall into loops, feeling a little bit better, pushing a bit too much, and then crashing out again with a setback. It's exhausting. And worse, it starts to feel like a personal failure, but it's not. It's a systemic gap in how we manage concussion recovery. I teach a brain first approach to healing built on tools, techniques, and deep empathy. So that includes brain care, pacing and yoga, spoon theory, symptom tracking, trauma informed movement and restorative yoga, and self compassion as a foundational healing tool. You'll learn how to manage your flare ups and your setbacks. You'll track your capacity without any shame. And you'll relearn how to listen to your central nervous system instead of overriding it, and start replacing guilt with understanding. One of the hardest parts of brain injury and concussion is the identity part. Who am I now? You might feel like a stranger to yourself, or you might grieve loss of the expectations you had for the future about your body and your brain and what you'd be able to do. You might struggle with a fear of letting people down or shame about taking rest. I want to tell you something that's really helped me. You're not meant to go back. You're growing forward into a composite personality, a version of you that's made up of who you were before the injury, who have you become since, and what your injury has taught you about yourself. I used to give myself deadlines. I should be back to work. I should be normal by now. I should feel better by next month. But I wasn't living in my body. I was living in a countdown. When I let go of this idea that recovery meant going back to my former self, I began to ask better questions. What if this version of me is just as worthy? You are valuable regardless of your productivity. Your pain is real. Your fear is real, and you have nothing to be ashamed of. I've helped over 100 people navigate this, from an RCMP officer on Prime Minister detail to a retired dancer and grandma to a national charity CEO. I've worked with artists, teachers, parents, social workers, people who thought they might never feel normal again, and discovered something deeper: that healing is not just erasing what happened, it's actually about integrating it. I want you to know you're allowed to change. You're allowed to grieve. You're allowed to imagine a new identity filled with self respect and new strengths. Recovery isn't going back, it's growing forward. So if you're in that in between place, I see you. Let's walk this healing journey together.